God is good. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Diablo II Remake, which is called Diablo II Resurrected, and all the information we got from BlizzCon about this game as you watch how cool it's going to look. And I've got to say right off the bat, immediately, that I am so glad that they didn't go with the more Diablo 3 kind of art style, right? The more World of Warcraft art style. Because Diablo was just supposed to be dark and just kind of brutal, right? It wasn't supposed to look happy and friendly, right? And I always felt like Diablo 3, and I know a lot of people felt that way, right? So first off the bat, I'm glad that it looks like, actually to me, that they have converted the 2D sprites into 3D renditions of the sprites. And, you know, we're not going to talk too much about Diablo 4 in this video, because I'm much more excited, honestly, about Diablo 2 at this point. However, another major point before we get into all the itty-bitty details and the nitty-gritty is that included with Diablo II Resurrected is the original 2D mode, and as many of you know, you can get Diablo 2 to work on a modern PC, but it's a little bit of work, you know, and a lot of people just don't want to do all that, right? So that's pretty big news. So if you like, you can play in classic mode with 2D, according to the information we got from BlizzCon, and of course then you can play the new 3D. Now we're going to discuss everything that we know about it here in the video. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. We're trying to get to 10K here on the channel. We cover mostly MMORPGs, Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, CRPGs, JRPGs, RPGs, all that kind of thing. Before we begin, I want to give a big shout out to the members of Napalm. Thank you all so very much for your support. You are the sponsors of this channel. I could not do this without you. And if you are interested in becoming a member, please click the join button down below for more information and a list of perks. And a special shout out to my lords of Napalm, Rayco, Bounty Code, and Ray Cooper. Thank you for your highest tier membership. Now, Diablo 2 itself doesn't need hardly an introduction, but I would like to say that it's one of my favorite ones. Actually, it is my favorite Diablo. I think it was an absolute masterpiece, and I think it was the peak of the Diablo series. Not to say that Diablo 3 was complete garbage. I had fun with it, and I played through it several times and even did a little bit of the end game and thought it was okay. You know, and it was even exciting when it came out, I gotta admit, just because it had been so long. However, there are so many people that still play Diablo 2. I mean, the game is ancient practically at this point, and there's still people that play it every day. So there's just something to say about it, and it really revolutionized the action role-playing genre as a whole. Well, finally, we're gonna see this game remade. Now, it's a little worrisome, I have to admit, because the last game that they remastered, Warcraft 3, wow, not so good, right? And, you know, the things that we saw leading up to it looked really good, and then when we got the game, not so much. So, this is the same company as Blizzard, right? So keep that in mind. I'm remaining optimistic because they really had to give a lot of apologies and stuff for Warcraft 3, and let's just hopefully, I'm going to move on with the video and assume that that's not going to happen again. Now, I've got clips from the announcement trailer along with additional gameplay included in the video for you to check out, and obviously, as you can see, it's a brand new 3D graphics engine, and they're saying it will run in 4K. All the classes, even the ones from Lord of Destruction, will be in Diablo II Resurrected, and all the classic content along with that expansion, Lord of Destruction, will be included in this version. Also, it's not just coming to PC, it's also coming to consoles. The Xbox One, PS4, the new, Series X, PS5, and the Switch. Now, being able to switch back to the classic mode with the 2D sprites and everything, I think was a really cool idea. Now, they did touch up the sound effects and the soundtrack as well, and another really cool thing is they took those old cinema scenes and completely remade them. Like, completely. They're not, like, touched up or something. They remade the cinema scenes, so that'll be very cool to see as well, in my opinion. Now, they expect this game to release sometime in 2021. We've been seeing a lot of games delayed because a lot of the offices are kind of split and working at home kind of thing, so it really hurts productivity in a lot of cases, at least. So they're saying 2021, you know, we'll see what happens. But according to what we've seen and the gameplay that was shown and all that kind of thing, it does look like it's pretty far along, so maybe it is possible. That would be really nice. Now, this game is over 20 years old, Diablo II, the original. And like I said earlier at the beginning of the video, what I really liked about it is how dark and just gothic everything looked. It just looked so cool. And it almost had like a claymated look to it, you know? And of course, we're not getting that because I think that was just a product of its time. However, it does look like the 2D sprites. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree with that, by the way, because I think it looks to me like that was very important to them. Like, hey, if we're gonna redo this, let's try to keep it, keep that classic look. And then it looks like, thankfully, the Diablo 4 is also going that direction and looks more like this art style and less like Diablo 3, which is a good thing in my opinion. Let me know what you think about that down below. Now, of course, across the internet, everybody's concerned because of Warcraft 3 Reforged. We already talked about that. Look, I'm just gonna say that hopefully that's not what happens, right? And here's some good news. So, Vicarious Visions is who's actually doing this, right, within the Blizzard departments. And they are responsible for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, which I don't give a crap about those games. However, they did a good job with them. They got good reviews, everybody seemed to enjoy it, and it looked like they faithfully reproduced those games. I just personally don't give a crap about those games. However, they did a good job. So that gives me hope, and why I believe that this time it will probably actually be done right, as it's not that team that completely screwed over Warcraft 3, right? I think they actually got rid of that entire team after that horrible incident. Now, in Resurrected, here's some more information we have. They have broadened their character stats page, and of course, as you can see, there's some UI updates. There's automatic gold pickup, which you can turn off if you want. However, I'm pretty sure most people are going to enjoy that. And of course, because now it's in 3D, there's a really good, of course, you can zoom in and out really fluidly. And of course, that lighting and everything just looks fantastic, like we've already said. And another big update, because of today's technology, when you equip something, it actually shows all the time. No recycled looks, or at least if there are, they're few and far between, apparently. And they're really trying to keep that feel the same as far as the way that the frames per second and just the gameplay loop and all that kind of thing. That was like the major goal, obviously, when you're doing a remake or a remaster, whatever you want to call it, of a classic title like this. Now, a lot of people are concerned because of the modding community. Obviously, over all this time, it's just grown massively. And will those mods still work that were designed for, vanilla Diablo 2? Or will they not with this new, because with the new classic mode? We don't know, we'll just have to see how it goes. But you can guarantee that the modding community will be all over this and updating their mods, I'm sure. You can expect the seasonal rotations and all that kind of thing that you've come to expect from Diablo. And another cool thing, I said that this game is available on PC and the consoles. Another great thing about it is that it is cross progression, so you can play on your PC and then grab your Switch on the way out the door and continue playing with your save. And I think that's really cool and something we need to see more and more of on these cross-platform games, because why not, right? Now you can sell your one game on multiple consoles, especially the Switch thing, right? Because you can grab the Switch and play it on the go. For some people, that's completely useless, but for a lot of people, that is a big, awesome feature, and they will absolutely buy the game twice just to play it on their PC with max resolution and 4K and all that, and then the Switch for the go. Now, I'll put the minimum and recommended PC specs down below that they're listing, at least as of now. Hopefully that doesn't change, so you can get that in the description if you're interested in that. And that's pretty much all the news that we have so far on Diablo II Resurrected. What do you guys think? I'm pretty excited about it, because this is a really good game. So as long as they don't screw it up, as long as this isn't a Warcraft 3 scenario, a reforged kind of thing, which once again we've already discussed why I don't think it will be, then just from what we're seeing, this looks great, and I'm pretty freaking excited, because this Diablo 2 was a big deal for Blizzard, right? This is kind of a turning point for the company. This is kind of what got them going and got them, like, everybody knew who Blizzard was after Diablo 2. Diablo 1 was a great game, obviously, but Diablo 2 was really when everybody just started going wild, and the online play and all that kind of thing, and really led to online gaming. Not to say it was the first one, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, like, it was so popular that the talk of playing games online, at least for me and my perspective, started with Diablo 2. I really hadn't heard people talking about playing games online that I can recollect anyway until Diablo 2, and then everybody was talking about it, right? So anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd really like to hear your opinion. Is this something you think you'd like to play when it does come out? Is this you're not interested? What do you think, right? Especially, and also these graphics, man. I want to hear everybody else's opinions, see if everybody kind of feels the same way I do, that they did from these videos a really good job of translating those sprites into 3D, because we all know that can be a disaster, right? You can totally, a company can totally fudge that up and just ruin the entire feel of the game just from that. So let me know what you think in the comments down below, guys. And if you're not already subscribed, please consider doing that. We will be covering Diablo 2 updates and MMORPGs, CRPGs, JRPGs, all the big news to do with RPGs in general. We will be covering on the channel, so please subscribe. Thank you all for joining me today, and until next time, God bless and happy gaming.